Hi, I'm David Hutchison, the Sales Director at Property Inspect, and I'm going to show you how you can use Property Inspect to streamline the operations of your electrical or compliance business. Generate instant reports directly from the field using highly customizable templates. Capture all the information required for your COC, flag issues, capture counts, highlight faults, and take photos. This is all done in the field with our app, which is available to download from the Play or the App Store. Inspections can be done offline, saving you data. Accept bookings via embedded forms, integrated CRMs, client portals, or manually. Easily schedule and assign the jobs to your electrical, plumbing, or repairs team to view in the app with built-in Google Map functionality, ensuring they don't miss a job. Report and templates are completely customizable to your specific requirements. Upload a materials list to easily cost items for repair or replacement. Generate call-out invoices, quote on repairs, and issue repair invoices directly from Property Inspect or via our integrations with Xero QuickBooks. Replace numerous outdated systems with simple-to-use Property Inspect. Let me show you how. Bookings made easy. How are you currently receiving your jobs and your bookings from your clients and customers? Property Inspect makes it easy to receive these jobs and load them directly into the Property Inspect system. So let's have a look at how we do that. First of all, I'm going to show you the manual way. So for example, if you receive your jobs or your bookings via a telephone call or via an email or via a contact us form, you can simply load the jobs into Property Inspect. First thing to do is create a property and all your jobs would flow off the property. So here you can see a property is being created. Property address. It's important to capture this accurately because the electrician using the app would be able to open Google Maps directly from the app and get directions to the property really simply and easily. Here's some details about the property. So I can see it's a 3-bed, 2-bath house, and we know where it is. I can also add some custom fields if required. For example, I've got a transfer date over here. Any specific notes relating to this property, which can be visible in the admin office and also by the electrician or the inspector on site, can be added over here. For example, Parking Bay 101. My property has been created, and all I would do now is simply schedule the job that I need to do. So for example, an electrical inspection, you can see my job card is putting through. The requested date is there. Confirmed. I'm expecting it to take an hour, and I can assign it to my electrician. The great thing is I can see their availability here in the calendar view. I can also add a price for the job over here, and I can make some specific notes relating to this job and this inspection over here. I can also add information here, notifications, for example, to the tenant. So here we have Mr. Tenant, and we want them to get a notification around the job being booked. I'd simply save and continue. Everybody would have been notified, including the inspector that needs to perform the job. So that's the first way. For clients that give you regular work or regular jobs, you can also give them a login to their own client portal. And this is the client view that you can see over here. They can only see their properties in their reports, and you can see an example of this over here. So I'm a regular client that books jobs with the compliance company, and I would simply add a new job, add my new property, or select an existing property, and I would select the job required, the date requested, the time requested. I could add contacts, I could add any specific notes, and I would simply save this job, and it would be creating a pending job subject to confirmation in your Property Inspect system. So that's the second way. If you've got a website and you've got a booking form or a contact us form, you can also have a customized form, which you can embed into your website. So here is an example of this. This is your client details of the person booking or the payee for the job. So their details can be added there, the service that they require, the property address details, further details around the property, the requested date and time, any contact information, again, tenant or landlord information, and any other specific notes that can be added or required to help you with the job. and of course, acceptance of your own specific terms and conditions. Once this form is submitted, it would create a pending job in your Property Inspect system. If you're using a CRM system, for example, HubSpot, you can also create a Zap. Zapier is a system that connects systems, for example, HubSpot and Property Inspect. So here you can see I want to create an inspection or a job in Property Inspect when a deal is added into HubSpot. So I would simply ask Zapier to help me create that Zap, and that would automatically create a job every time I load a new deal in HubSpot. There is the option for even more advanced integration. We have openly published APIs should you wish to push and pull information directly out of the Property Inspect system. So I hope that shows you how simple and easy it is to create and accept jobs. Now that the job is booked, we need to schedule it to one of our internal staffs. How do we do that? Well, the first thing is we need to set up our team. So if you see over here, I've got a tab at the top called Team. And this is where I can add all of my users, whether they're my internal admin staff, my finance team, my electricians, my plumbers, or my repair team. They can all be added here. I can also create specific teams. So for example, I've got an electrical team. I could have a repairs team. I could also set up teams based on various rules. For example, their location, the client that they service, or any tags unique to my business. So all my users have been added, and we can give them various levels of access to the platform. So if we have a look over here, we can see we've got a plumber. And if I edit him, you can see there are various workflow settings that we can activate or deactivate for this specific user. Okay, once I've added my user, I can also just ensure that they receive the correct notifications around the jobs that they need to do. So here, for example, you can see job sheets. So this will automatically send an email to the user the day before of all the jobs they have for the next day. Of course, those jobs will be sitting in the app in date order, where they would simply fetch them and perform them in that order. The other thing that they can do is they can use our integrations tab over here to connect to their diaries. So here you can see I can connect to Google Calendar or iCalendar or Outlook, and this will sync the calendars. Now that we've done all of that, we can actually go ahead and schedule the job. So let's have a look. Some bookings have come in, they've been created, but they're still pending. We haven't confirmed them or assigned them to anybody yet. So if we see our dashboard over here, this will give us all the different job types. It will also show us an overview of the status of these jobs. So what I'm going to go do is select this electrical inspection over here. I can see it's pending and unconfirmed. So I'm going to click into it, and I'll be able to see the details. So here we can see we've got an invoice price, which is the call-out fee for the job. I've got all my information relating to this, including the client or the payee, any particular contacts relating to this, a person at the property, a building manager, whoever it is that needs to be informed about the job. I can see it's unconfirmed, and I currently don't have anybody assigned to this. So all I would do then is assign my inspector, and I would be able to see their availability over here in the calendar view. I'd be able to mark it as confirmed. This is expected to be a 30-minute job, and I would be able to assign it to my electrician, for example. Simply save and continue. All the notifications would have now gone out. This job is available to be fetched in the app and performed on a device. Simple as that. Site visits and inspections made easy. Let's have a look at the Property Inspect app. And here you can see on my phone is the app. I'm going to open it up. And here are all my jobs or inspections for the day. So let's have a look at the first one, or the electrical inspection. So I'm going to tap it open, and here it gives me all the details about the inspection. Generally, there is a cover picture of the property. This is normally taken on the first visit to the property and is a visual reference for that property. And here you can see the date, the time, the type of job, the address, and the property details. So I can easily see it's a 2-bed, 1-bath apartment. I can also see contact details, for example, the client or the tenant at the property that I may be meeting. If I tap onto the tenant's details, I can see further details, including their phone number. And if I tap on that, I can call from the app. I can also see any messages relating to this. So, for example, if there's any specific messages that your admin team leave for the inspector, these will be visible here on the app. I need to get to the property, so I can tap onto the map icon on the right-hand side of the address, and that will either open up Google Maps or Apple Maps and give me directions to the property. Once I arrive at the property, I would hit Start Report or Edit Report, and this is now where I would complete my job card and various other requirements as per the templates that I need to complete. So, for example, I'll tap into Arrival and Departure, and this is now where I would be able to tap in here, and I would be able to select the date and the time of my arrival, and the same thing for when I'm finished my visit to the property. I can then go down and add some additional comments, for example, lots of faults found, or any other additional information I need to capture can be captured here, comments relating to this visit. If for any reason I need to then do meter readings or faults to rectify, I can append the relevant template to this report. So here, for example, I've got meter readings. I can now tap into the electrical meter, for example. I'll be able to check and update the serial number. I'd be able to tap in here and update any readings, for example. I'll also be able to tap onto the camera, and I will be able to take a photo of the meter. There's my meter. I then move down to the gas meter, water meter, bulk meters, whatever it is that I need to capture in terms of the meter readings. The same thing is true for room faults. Again, your customizable templates are available, but to give you an example, in the living room, if there's a fault to rectify, I can tap the triangle, I can select the type of fault, and then I can browse for the specific material required for this, and I can use the search functionality here to find the relevant item. I could select it and select a quantity. This means that it's simple to quote. When back in the office, we can generate a quote simply and quickly. And of course, a photograph says a million words, so I would be able to tap onto the camera, take a photo of the reading of the issue, of the DB board, or whatever it is, for reference in the report. So again, I can make comments, add your comments here. I would be able to tap in and highlight the issue. I would then also be able to take as many photographs as is required for this specific issue. That's as simple as it is to conduct the report. Once I have finished at the property, I would generally preview the report, mark it complete, and sign the report as the inspector. This is normally pre-filled, sign in the app, and that report is now ready to be sunk up and received by the office. Okay, so that's a general sort of site visit, call out, electrical inspection type of report. For the repairs team, the issues that have been flagged up during the original visit are available as a work order once the quote has been accepted by the client. So here we have an example of a work order, and I will be able to, again, see any messages relating to this repair job, and I will be able to then tap into the report. All the issues that require fixing, I'll be able to tap in here, and I can now see all of the issues that require fixing. Once they're done, I mark done, take a photo of the repair, and I am done. Done, photo of the repair, and to the next one. If for any reason I now need to redo the counts, for example, or I need to fill in the information relating to the COC certificate, I can simply add a block from my presets over here, for example, DB counts, and I would then be able to tap in here and fill in the new and the existing count numbers for everything that is required, as you can see I'm doing here. So very simple and easy to tap in the details required. To give you another example, I'm going to add a electrical safety compliance template, which will be appended to the bottom of this report. And here you can see I can tap in and I can select relevant information with relating to the inputs required for the COC certificate. Tap on the camera to take a photo at any point. Again, once I've finished with this repair job, I would hit preview. I can see these actions at the top have all been marked as done with my relevant photos. I would mark it complete and I would add the signature the same as before, bearing in mind that you are probably preloaded when it comes to the signatures. Once I get Wi-Fi, I would simply look at my reports and sync them up. They'll then become available in the office for the admin team to look at. Reviewing your reports, invoices, and quoting. Right, let's have a look at what happens once your call out or your inspection has been performed on site. Once it has been sunk from the app, it's going to arrive back in your platform here. So here you can see on my dashboard, I've got all of my job types and I can see the status that the job is in. Here you can see I've got 3 jobs that have come back for me to review. So I'm going to click on this electrical inspection over here. And here I can see all the details relating to this call out and inspection. Here I can see the price, the client or the payee, any contacts relating to that inspection or call out, cover photo of the property. And over here, I can see the actual report and edit the report. I can see the issues that were flagged up and I can see the invoice for the call out. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at the report itself. This is the physical document that can be sent to the client should you wish. And here you can see an example of this. Remember, this is highly customizable for your specific requirements. So here we can see the job card, start time, end time, the counts, tests, rooms, and here are the faults that were found that we are now going to be quoting on. And these are summarized here at the end of the report. This can be hidden from the report should you wish. This report would be signed by the inspector or the electrician. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to check this invoice for the call out and send it out. So if I move along here, I can click on the invoice tab and here you can see the invoice, which can be edited. I can preview it and I can send it directly from Property Inspect. So I'm going to do this in real time and I'm just going to send it to myself so you can have a look at what it looks like. So there is my invoice that has been sent off. And in a second, that will arrive over here. So hopefully you can see this now. Here is the invoice for the call out. This is the email that's been received. I'd simply click and I would be able to view the invoice over here with your comments and instructions on how to pay. So that's option number 1 in terms of sharing the invoice for the call out. The other option is to sync this to Xero, QuickBooks. We recommend Xero. And I'm going to now sync this directly to Xero. And what will happen now is it will arrive. This is live in Xero. If I refresh, we should see an invoice. There it arrives as a draft. I'd be able to click on this and I would be able to send this invoice directly from my accounting system. So here it is here. I can edit anything that I need to, and I can approve an email directly from the system, from Xero. Okay, if I needed to edit the report, I wasn't happy, for example, with this final output report that I got, I do have the option to go into the report and edit items here. So here you can see I can go in and I can edit if required. I can also check the photos. I can click on the photos to rotate, delete, etc. So this is to edit the actual report itself. All the issues that we want to quote on or actions that are required are listed over here. So here you can see them all. They've all pulled through from my asset library with the standard costs. I can edit them here if I need to. I'm just going to delete one over here and start from fresh. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to send off a quote or an action issue report to the client. So I'm going to create a quote from those items, and here you can see it, all the issues, and I can share this report directly with the contact or whoever needs it. I'm going to add my email address so you can see what it looks like over here. Right, so that has now been shared with standard messaging that will come in the email body, which can be customized and set as default. So let's just share that. And here is the email that has been received by the client. And it would say, here is your quote. It would say quote over there for the address. Please respond with accept and decline. And they would be able to click on this to view their action report or their quote. And again, it would look a little bit like this with your customized notes at the bottom over here. They can see all the individual line items, and they can simply respond to the email with I accept, or I decline, or I accept items 1 to 3. Please proceed. That email would be received by yourselves, and now you can proceed to the next step. Should they not wish to proceed with some of the items, you would simply mark those as declined and done, and that would then remove them. For now, I'm going to just take all of these and I'm going to create a work order for my repairs team. So here I would create the work order or for the repairs team. I would select the date that they are going to be going out, the time that they're going to be going out, and I would assign it to my repair team over here, Rudolph Repairs. This is now available in the app, and the repairs team would pull the inspection down to the app, and they would simply go and fill in all the details as they go. So here you can see, this is obviously not an app view of it, but they would simply walk around, do the repair, mark it as done, take a photo. So there's all my items. If they need to, for any reason, do some new counts, they'd be able to add a section over here from your presets, and they'd be able to do the counts again if required. Or they could add a section here called COC requirements, and they'd be able to fill in all the details in the app once the repairs have been completed, for example, new readings. But here's your evidence of all the job being completed, done, and photographs with that. I would then be able to go to the final part, which is the invoicing for the work. And here you can see the invoice has been raised. Very similar process to previously. You'd be able to just share this invoice by email with your client. The invoice would look like this. Here you can see all the details. This is if you are sharing directly from Property Inspect. Remember, Property Inspect is not an accounting system, but you can share these invoices and quotes. Option number 2 is to sync this directly to Xero again. And if we go to our invoices, that should be arriving as a draft invoice shortly. And there you can see it over here. Right, so there's all the items, and I can now approve and email that. So the inspection would have actually arrived in a review state. And once I'm happy and I've sent off the invoice, I can then mark this as complete. So I would mark my original call-out inspection and my work order as complete. Right, let's have a look at account setup and customization. So here you can see the Property Inspect system, and you can see I'm sitting on a dashboard. And over here are all my different types of jobs and inspections and reports that I do, the type of reports or site visits that I do. here you can see the state that they move through from pending, assigned to a contractor, actively been done, come in for admin review, and marked as complete. These can all be customized, and you can do that by clicking on Settings, Reports, Manage Types, and here you can go and select the type, add, rename, assign templates, and set standard durations. Okay, the other thing you'll notice over here is I have got a list of all my jobs to assign, all my jobs to review, and I can select these to easily filter and find what I need to look at. So here I can see I have got this electrical inspection, which I need to assign to an electrician to go and perform. Okay, if I click over to the inspections or jobs, here you'll see I've got a whole bunch of filters which I can use on the left-hand side, and that will show me all the individual jobs that are related to that filter. I've also got a calendar view over here, which is very useful. Bearing in mind my inspector or electrician's calendars can be integrated directly with the system over here. So here is my calendar view. And again, I can use the filters over here to see exactly what I need to. For example, I want to see only electrical inspections or only repair or work orders, etc. The other view that I've got of all the jobs is an agenda view. And here you can see I can switch between a horizontal and a vertical view. And I can see all my different users. I can filter by them. And this gives me a good overview of who is doing what on a particular day. I've also got a map view if required, and this will highlight certain events in the app. For example, sign, start, and complete. Okay, very similar on the properties. This will give me a list of all of my properties. When I click into it, I will see all of my reports, whether it's the gas report, the electrical report. It will all be sitting under the property with full audit trails, including email history relating to all the jobs. So from an audit trail perspective, everything I ever need is going to be sitting here under the property profile. I've discussed team. This is where you would add and create your teams. Clients would be your payees, and these can be associated to an individual inspection or the property itself. And then importantly, let's have a look at settings. So here you can customize some of your general settings. For example, job sheets that go out to your inspectors, reminders for signees. Let's have a look what else would be applicable here. Various custom fields and tags that you can add to properties and inspections. Okay, so that's your general settings over here. The other thing that you would need to do is you can configure the output report per type of report that gets generated. So I can go down here, click on electrical inspection, and this is now the output report that would get generated. And I can completely go down and customize it, switch things on and off, add notes, add disclaimers, hide certain sections, size photos, locate photos, etc., etc., etc. So this is a configuration of the output report itself per type of report that I do. Then we've got a dictionary. This is some more advanced use, but here you can see this is actually being configured in terms of the inputs required for a COC template, which I'll show you in a minute. But here are all the inputs or options for easy selection if I am completing, for example, a COC template, which is to collect the data on site. I'll come to that in a second. Here are the issues, and most of them would be fault to repair or fault to replace, but you can customize these and you can customize them for each different type of inspection report that you do. Your system would come pre-configured with certain templates. However, it is your responsibility to be able to go in and configure the templates to exactly your specific requirements. We work in software. We're not out in the field. So it would be your responsibility to configure and create your own templates. However, here you can see job card. This is associated with every job, and it's simply got a start date and time over here, comments. So there's an example of a job card. All these other templates, for example, counts, can be added as presets or templates and easily added when you're in the field using the app just to capture the information that you specifically require. Okay, so let me show you now the inputs for a COC. If you see here, this is all set up to mimic the COC to capture the information. And here you can see if I click on type of installation, it gives me the various options. And as I click through, all the options are available from a dropdown over here. So that would go through, and this works through all the different sections of the COC. So that is available should you require it. Right, let's look what else we've got in the template section. We've got your simple faults to repair and replace. We've also got a gas conformity template. Again, this is just to get you going. It's your responsibility to customize, go through the templates and make sure that it is acceptable for your specific requirements. But there you can see. There are a number of placeholder templates for you to work from. For example, a Beetle checklist, and you can see here section 1, and I've got all my different items, pass, fail, etc., yes, no checklists. So this is a placeholder for you to go in and create your Beetle checklist. Okay, the other thing is you can configure your price lists. So for example, you can set a default price for all your different jobs. This will automatically pull through to the invoicing section that we discussed in this video. Okay, what else can I show you here? The other thing I wanted to show you is the asset library. This is actually your materials list. We call it an asset library, materials list. And here you can see I've got my categories. Within my categories, I've got my labels. And then associated to that, I have a code and a cost. Now, this is very simple to import. All you would do is create a spreadsheet with your inputs over here. So here you can see my categories, my labels, my codes, my costs, and my units of measure. I would simply take that sheet and I would do an import, and it would create my asset library for me to easily select these items in the app with a quantity for easy quoting. There's a lot more configuration that you can do. For example, custom emails that go out to your clients or the contacts, integrations, for example, with Xero over here, or QuickBooks, and various different calendar subscriptions. But for now, I think that will give you enough to genuinely and decently configure and set up your account.